Let's begin the question answer session with the story Neighbors. Question number 1. How did the neighbors assist the young couple in the kitchen garden? The neighbors assisted young couple in the kitchen garden by offering advices on planting vegetables, about spacing, healing, and mulching. Moreover, they also gave them a bag full of garlic cloves to plant. So, कथामा ती छिमेकीले ती नयाँ कपाललाई कसरी हेल्प गरे भन्दा यो कसरी तरकारीहरू प्लान्ट गर्ने, कति स्पेस राख्ने, एउटा बारी एउटा ड्याङबाट अर्को ड्याङसम्मको स्पेसहरू बारे सल्लाह दिए, as well as next thing you have to remember is garlic दिएका थिए एउटा उब्जाउनको लागि. Garlic भनेको लसुन. These things you write. Number 2. Why were the people in the neighborhood shocked at the role of the young man and his wife in their family? So when you answer this question, you just keep one thing in your mind that श्रीमती जी बाहिर काम गर्थिन् अनि श्रीमान चाहिँ घरमा बसेर काम गर्थ्यो. प्राय के हुन्छ भने श्रीमान बाहिर काम गर्छन्, श्रीमती घरमा काम गर्थिन्. तर यहाँ ठ्याक्कै उल्टो भएको कारण neighbors are shocked. The people in the neighborhood were shocked at the role of the young man and his wife in their family, because the young man stayed home and did the household works while his wife went to the hospital to earn money, which was uncommon for the neighborhood. Why did the young man begin to cry at the end of the story? कथाको अन्तिमतिर बच्चा जन्माउँदै गर्दा आफ्नो श्रीमतीले श्रीमानजी रोइरहेको हामी देख्छौं. छिमेकीले नजिकै छन् र उ रोइरहेको हुन्छ. उ किन रोइरहेको हुन्छ भन्दा छिमेकीले उसलाई धेरै प्रेम गरेका छन्, धेरै कन्सर्न देखाएका छन्. छिमेकीको प्रेम देखाएर इमोसनल भएर he is crying, not because of pain, but because being emotional. At the end of the story, the young man began to cry as he was moved by the concern of the neighbors for the arrival of the child. He felt so emotional, realizing how much his neighbors cared and loved his family. Now, next story, A Respectable Woman. How was Governor different from Mrs. Baroda's expectation? Mrs. Barodale Governor को बारे अर्कै एउटा इमेज बनाएकी थिइन्. अग्लो होला, चस्मा लाउँदो हो, स्लिम छ होला. तर जब आयो उ कस्तो थियो त? Based on the conversation with her husband about Governor, Mrs. Baroda had framed a mental image of him as someone tall, slim, cynical, with sunglasses and with his hands in his pocket. But later on, when Governor visited the Baroda family, Mrs. Baroda was surprised as he was different from her expectation. He was slim, but not very tall, nor cynical, neither did he wear glasses, nor put his hands in his pocket. So उनले सोचे जस्तो अग्लो पनि थिएन, न कुनै संकालु साइनिकल थियो, न त चस्मा लाउँथ्यो, न त गोजीमा हात लाउँथ्यो. हो एउटा मात्रै कुरा के मिल्थ्यो भने अलिअलि स्लिम चाहिँ थियो. Okay. Number 2, why was Mrs. Baroda unhappy with the information about Governor's visit to their farm? Mrs. Baroda was unhappy with the information about Governor's visit to their farm because she had been very tired working in the sugar plantation during the winter, and she was looking for a good time with her husband during the leisure. Moreover, she did not like the idea of Governor's visits to their farm, as he was also a complete stranger to her. दुईटा कुरा सम्झिनुहोस्. त्यो सुगर प्लान्टेसन भनेको उखु खेती गर्ने ठाउँमा काम गर्दा 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 थाकेकी छिन्. बरु रेस्ट गर्न पाए हुन्थ्यो, पाउन आउँदा टेन्सन छ एउटा. र अर्को कुरा भनेको यो गभर्नरलाई चिन्दिनन् के, चिन्नु नजान्नु घचडी मार्नु भन्छ नेपालीमा. Number 3, why is Gatson surprised with his wife expression towards the end of the story? कथाको अन्तिममा भनिरहेकी छिन् कि you can invite your friend भन्दा it's like husband is very much surprised. Okay, why? Gaston is surprised with his wife's expression towards the end of the story, as she, who was denying his proposal to invite Governor regularly, herself asked him to invite Governor to stay at their plantation. ल साथीलाई बोला आफै भन्छन्. सुरुमा नबोला भनेको मान्छेले पछि बोलाऊ भन्दा he is surprised. Next, we have A Devoted Son by the Indian writer Anita Desai. Question number 1, how did the community celebrate Rakesh's success? Rakeshले मेडिकल साइन्समा आफ्नो नाम निकालेको छ, and how did the community celebrate it? The community celebrated Rakesh's success by joining the celebration party at Rakesh's house. They congratulated the parents of Rakesh, slapped on the back of Rakesh, and filled the house with the sound and color of a festival. Number 2, why was Rakesh's success a matter of discussion in the neighborhood? Rakesh's academic success of getting his name published in the medical examination at the top was a matter of discussion in the neighborhood, as Rakesh was the first child in the community to achieve such high degree of success. So he has been able to get his name published in medical examination. MBBS medical examination at top आफ्नो नाम निकालेको छ र यसरी नाम निकाल्ने चाहिँ अरु छैनन् त्यो कम्युनिटीमा. Therefore everybody is talking about Rakesh's success. How does the author make fun with the words America and the USA? Rakesh's father attaches more significance to the USA than America. He tells his whole family to call it the USA instead of America. He says that it is only ignorant people who call it America. In this way, the writer makes fun with the word America and USA. Writer ko father, Rakesh ko babaलाई यो USA भन्ने word एकदम मन पर्छ, America हैन. उलाई लाग्छ USA भन्ने चाहिँ charming word, valuable, prestigious word हो. नजान्ने इसका छिमेकीले ignorantले चाहिँ यो USA America भन्छ. So, America and USA both are the same country. In this way, the writer makes fun with the words. Now, the treasure in the forest, this adventurous story. Question number 1. How did Ivan and Hooker know about the treasure? Ivan and Hooker knew about the treasure after listening to the conversation of the Chinese man in the forest. After listening to the conversation, they knew that the treasure was hidden near 3 trees deep in the forest by the side of the fire. So, actually, घुम्दै जाँदा Chinese man को गफ सुनेका छन्. The Chinese man, they were talking about the treasure. A treasure को बारे कुरा सुनेपछि उनीहरूले थाहा पाएका हुन्. Number 2. What does the map look like and how do Ivan and Hooker interpret it? A map जुन उनीहरूले Chinese man बाट खोसेका छन्, यो कस्तो छ त? The map looks very old with much folding. Even Ivan and Hooker interpret the straight dotted line on the map as a river, and they are also able to identify 3 trees on the map. They cannot understand the curved lines going ups and downs on the map. So धेरै कुरा बुझेका छन्, एउटा कुरा बुझेनन् कि यो म्यापमा ups and down को लाइन के हो चाहिँ बुझेनन्. त्यो बाहेक straight dot line river रहेछ अनि त्यहाँ 3 trees पनि देखेका छन्. So that's how they interpret it. How were Ivan and Hooker poisoned? अन्तिममा कथाको यिनीहरू मरेका छन्. How they are poisoned, that's the question. Ivan and Hooker were poisoned by the thorns while collecting the gold ingots in the forest. Ivan was pricked by the thorns when he was inside the hole, and Hooker's thumb was pricked by thorns while he was putting the gold ingots back on the jacket. So Ivanलाई त त्यो gold ingots भनेका त्यो सुनका बिस्कुटहरु निकाल्दै गर्दा he is pricked by the poisonous thorns, the काँडाले भने. On the other hand, Hooker चाहिँ त्यो झरेका सुनका बिस्कुट टिप्दै गर्दा उसको थम्बमा बुढी अम्लामा त्यो काँडाले घोचेर he is poisoned. Now, my old home. This is the story. Okay, number 1. How does the narrator describe his feeling at the arrival of his old home? The narrator feels depressed when he arrives at the old home because there is the gap between his expectation and reality. He had expected his old home to be very beautiful, but in reality, he finds it to be drab, desolate, and devoid of life. So, दुईटा कुरा, he is not happy, he is depressed. एउटा expectation थियो घर एकदम सुन्दर होला, तर धेरै वर्षपछि फर्केर आउँदा घर त ड्र्याब भनेको एकदम प्लेन, निराश जस्तो, डिसोलेट, केही जिन्दगी नै नभए जस्तो देख्छ. So therefore he is depressed. What were the 3 kinds of servant in China then? That's a very important question. 3 kinds of servant in China then were busy monther, year-long, and short-timers. Busy monther serve a family only on a specific occasion, year-long, where the servants who work for family throughout the year and short-timers work for a family by the day. Tinta. Busy monther भनेको एउटा कुनै स्पेसिफिक ओकेजनमा मात्रै परिवारलाई सहयोग गर्ने नोकरहरू हुन्. इयर लङ भनेको 365 दिन एउटा परिवारको लागि काम गर्ने भनेको हो भने यी अर्कोतिर सर्ट टाइमर भनेको कि छोटो समयका लागि काम गर्ने कामदारहरू थिए. Number 3, according to the narrator, what were different factors that made Runtu a poor man throughout his life? अब narratorको साथी रुन्टु चाहिँ एकदमै गरिब छ, गरिबलाई केले बनायो? The answer is, according to the narrator, too many children, famine, harsh taxes, soldiers, bandit, official and gentry folk are the factors that made Runtu a poor man throughout his life. Now, next story we have by Gabriel Garcia Marquez, a very old man with enormous wing. Question number 1. Why did the crowd gather at Pelayo's house to see the strange old man? The crowd of people gathered at Pelayo's house thinking him to be an angel. They visited this strange old man expecting him to do some miracles. दुईटा कुरा एउटा त एन्जल हो भने सोच्छन् अर्को एन्जल भएको कारणले के जादु देखाउला के एउटा मिराकल्सहरु गर्ला. That's what they expect. Number 2, how and why was the woman changed into a spider? The woman was changed into a spider for disobeying her parents without her parents' permission. She spent the whole night dancing, and while she was walking through the jungle in the morning, she was hit by the lightning, which changed her into a spider. So parents like मानेकी छैनन्, नाच्न गएपछि नाचेर फर्किँदा माथि बादल गर्जिए, चट्याङ पर्यो, चट्याङले छोयो, and she changed into a spider. सुन्दा अचम्म लाग्छ, it's magic realism. Okay. Number 3, describe the strange man as Pelayo and his wife first encounter within their courtyard. So त्यो कस्तो थियो त strange man, the old man भन्दा the strange man was very old with bujard wings, ठुलठुला wings बका. He was dressed like a rag picker, फोहोर उठाउने मान्छे जस्तो. He had few faded hair on his bald skull and very few teeth in his mouth. न धेरै कपाल छन्, न धेरै दाँत. He spoke in a language that neither Pelayo nor his wife understood. एउटा भाषा बोल्छ जुन उनीहरु बुझ्दैन. And finally, the last story, The Half-Closed Eyes of the Buddha and the Slowly Sinking Sun by our Nepali writer Shankar Lamichhane. Question number 1. According to the tourist, why is the West indebted to the East? Answer. According to the tourist, the West is indebted to the East for religion, Purans, images of brass and ornaments of ivory, inscription on copper plate, civilization and wisdom. पूर्वले पश्चिममा धेरै कुरा दिएको छ, पुराण दिएको छ, धर्म दिएको छ. धर्म भन्नाले हिन्दुइजम and Buddhism. आइभोरीमा इमेज ब्रासमा कुदिएका इमेज छन्, कपर प्लेटमा केही लेखिएका कुराहरू छन्, सिभिलाइजेसन, विजडम, यी धेरै कुराका लागि वेस्ट यसतिर ऋणी छ. Number 2, what does the innocent village couple think of the doctor? The innocent village couple thinks that the tourist guide to be a doctor who has come to cure their paralyzed child. They regard the doctor as their eldest son who has brought a life-restoring remedy across the 7 seas for his brother. So the touristलाई टुरिस्ट गाइडको रूपमा नलिएर एउटा डाक्टरको रूपमा ठान्छन् ती गाउँलेले. जसलाई लाग्छ कि यो गाउँले यो टुरिस्ट भनेको यो डाक्टर भनेको बच्चा आफ्नो बच्चा जो बिरामी छ त्यसलाई उपचार गर्न आएको यो डाक्टर मात्रै नहुँदैन जेठो छोरो जस्तो जसले 7 समुद्र पारीबाट आफ्नो बच्चाको लागि बिरामी बच्चाको लागि औषधि लिएर आएको छ. Question number 3, what does the tourist feel about the temple of Adinath? The tourist feels that the temple of Adinath is a living example of Nepalese coexistence and tolerance, as the temple includes the shrine of Shiva, many Buddha images and many prayer wheels inscribed Om Mane Padme Hum. So the मन्दिर जाँदै गर्दा चोबारको माथि भएको आदिनाथ मन्दिर जाँदा टुरिस्टलाई लाग्छ कि ओहो यो त नेप्लिज पिपलहरुको एउटा जुन कोएक्जिस्टेन्स छ, जुन टलरेन्स छ, सँगै बस्छन्, जुन धैर्य गर्छन्, यसको देखाउँछ. किनकि त्यहाँ शिवजीको मात्रै पूजा गर्ने ठाउँ छैन कि शिव मात्रै नभएर अब बुद्धिस्टहरुको बुद्ध इमेज पनि रहेको रहेछ. सो हिन्दुइजम बुद्धिज्म सँगै देख्ने बित्तिकै उलाई लाग्छ आदिनाथ इज अ लिभिङ एक्जाम्पल अफ नेप्लिज कोएक्जिस्टेन्स एन्ड टलरेन्स. Let's start the questions from the poem A Day. What does the line, the news like squirrels rain mean? Question number 2. What do you understand by the line, the hills untied their bonnets? Question number 3. What, according to the speaker, is a day? Now the next poem. Every morning I wake. Question number 1. What does the speaker prefer? Likewise, question number 2. Who are the poor creatures? Why does the speaker call them poor creatures? Question number 3. Why do the inhabitants of Milkwood bow to the setting sun, but just for now? Now next poem. I was my own route. Question number 1. Why did the speaker try to be the way man wanted her to be? Question number 2. What do you mean by her feet would not accept walking backwards? Question number 3. Who are the old guards? Why did they grow desperate? Now next poem, The Awakening Is by Ben Okri. Question number 1. Who are the people who travel the meridian line? Question number 2. What does the poet mean by a new world? Question number 3. What can we gain after our perceptions are changed? Now we have poem Soft Storm by Nepali poet Avi Subedi. When does the speaker grow soft? Enlist the occasions when he grows soft. Question number 2. Describe the poor children portrayed in the poem. Question number 3. What does the poet mean by the line, "this seamless city"? Let's begin with the questions from On Libraries by Oliver Sacks. Why did he dislike school? Now, second essay, Marriage as a Social Institution by Stephen L. Nock. According to the writer, what is marriage? Now, let's see the probable questions from Knowledge and Wisdom by Barton Russell. Let's begin the questions from The Bull by Bhimnidhi Tiwari. Question number 1. How do we know that the bull is dead? And here you have the answer. We know that the bull is dead as the cowards say that its eyes are still, ears have dropped down, and the tail has loosened. So when you are answering these very questions, keep these three key sentences in your mind. The eyes of the bull are still, ears have dropped down, and the tail has loosened. The cowards, I think you know very well. Gore and Jitman, कथामा उनीहरुले भन्छन् कि साँडेको आँखाले केही देखिरहेको पनि छैन, टेल पनि ड्रप भइसकेको छ, टेल लुज भएको छ अनि इयर्स पनि ड्रप भइरहेको छन्. So these three keywords I repeat: still eyes, dropped ears, and the loose tail. These are the three words which you need to remember. Question number 2. Why does Ranbahadur want to see the bull himself? Ranbahadur wants to see the bull himself because he thinks if the bull can be treated in Tulo Gaucher, there is no point in taking it to the hill for treatment, as that will just cause a trouble without any reason to the bull. So I think you know the story. It is the proposal of Lakshmi Narayan to take the bull to the hillside for treatment, but Ranbahadur does not agree. Ranbahadur simply says, अब हिलसम्म बुललाई लाँदै गर्दा गाह्रो होला झन्. सो त्यो अर्थमा यदि बुलको ट्रिटमेन्ट काठमाडौँमै ठुलो गौचरमै हुन्छ भने किन माथि लाने? So that is what the concern of Ranbahadur is. So he does not want to take the bull to the hill. दुईटा कुरा, he thinks bull can be treated in ठुलो गौचर. If it can be treated, there is no point in taking the bull to the hill. Number 3. What, according to Coward, is the reason behind the death of Male? According to the cowards, Jitman and Gore, the bull Male died as it was fed with fine rice and lentil soup instead of grass. Moreover, the bull had to sleep not on the straw but on the mattress and quilt. That means the bull died as it was not treated like an animal. Our bull see Ranbahadurको favorite भएको कारण though animal हुँदाहुँदै पनि it is treated like a human being. घाँस खानुपर्ने बुलले राइस खुवाउन थालेपछि, परालमा सुत्नुपर्ने बुललाई सिरक डस्ना म्याट्रेस दिन थालेपछि एनिमललाई एनिमलको रूपमा ट्रिट गरेन भने एनिमल मर्ने चान्स हुन्छ. So therefore, this is exactly what you need to remember. It was not treated like an animal. And the last questions from Bull is, why have Gore and Jitman come to see Lakshmi Narayan? Gore and Jitman have come to see Lakshmi Narayan to inform him about the death of Male, the favorite bull of the king Ranbahadur Shah. कथाको सुरुवातमै हामीले गोरे र जितमानलाई लक्ष्मी नारायणको घरमा देख्छौं. यसको रिजन चाहिँ के भने ल बुल मर्यो है भन्ने जानकारी गराउन they have come to the house of Lakshmi Narayan. Okay, so that is what you have. Now next drama we have facing death. Some probable questions. Why do the grocery, the baker, and the butcher send their bills to Duran household? हुन त ड्युरेनले यो सामान लिनलाई ग्रोसरीबाट सामान आएको छैन, बेकरकोबाट केही सामान आएको छैन, बुचरकोबाट मिट नआइकन किन बिल आइरहेछ? The answer is the grocery, the baker, and the butcher send their bills to the Duran household because the previous bill of the product has remained unpaid. पुरानो बिल तिरेको छैन, त्यसकारण सामान दिएनन्, उल्टै बिल तिर्नुपर्ने बिल पठाइदिएका छन्. Number 2, why has Monsieur Duran paid fire insurance? Monsieur Duran has paid fire insurance as he has the plan to set the house on fire to receive the amount of fire insurance for the sake of the future of his daughter. So Monsieur Duran appears in the role of a good father. As he is going through economic crisis, एउटै मात्र यो फाइनान्शियल क्राइसिसबाट बाहिर निस्किने एउटै मात्र तरिका भनेकै त्यही फायर इन्स्योरेन्सको मनी जुन उसले प्राप्त गर्ने छ आफ्टर सेटिङ हिज हाउस अन फायर, जुन पैसा चाहिँ उसले छोरीहरूको लागि भविष्यको लागि प्रयोग गर्न पाउँछ भन्ने, that is what his noble intention is. How does Monsieur Duran die? This is the last most probable questions from facing death. So answer is Monsieur Duran sets the house on fire and drinks poison. In this way, he dies before the house is burned down. So, you know, he dies with a noble purpose in his mind. First, he sets the house on fire, जुन क्यान्डल सुरुमै किनेर ल्याएको छ, अनि त्यस पछाडी त्यो ग्लासबाट पहिले he drinks poison, जुन उसकी जेठी छोरीले थाहा पाएकी हुन्छ. So that is what you have. Now, A Matter of Husband, a quite humorous play from grade 2 role. What, according to the earnest young woman, are the indication that her husband has fallen in love with famous actress? According to the earnest young woman, there are some indications that her husband has fallen in love with famous actress. Firstly, she has found the love letter that her husband has written for the famous lady, and secondly, she knows about the flower that her husband sends the famous lady through florist. So दुईटा इन्डिकेसन सम्झिनु होला एउटा त उनले लभ लेटर भेटेकी छिन् 1000 kisses वाला घरमा जुन चाहिँ उसको हस्बेन्डले फेमस लेडी एक्ट्रेसको लागि लेखेको हुन्छ र अर्को त she knows that her husband through the florist he has been sending the flowers to the lady. So flower र letter यी दुईटा कीवर्ड भए. What favor does earnest young woman ask from the famous actress? Earnest young woman asks the famous actress to give her husband back as she thinks her husband is having an offer with the famous actress. कथाको सुरुवातमै हामी earnest young woman लाई famous actress को घरमा देख्छौं अनि उनलाई के लाग्छ भने her husband is in love with famous actress, so give my husband back भन्दै she has gone there. Number 3, how do we come to know that the famous actress and the husband of earnest young woman are in love? After the departure of earnest young woman, her husband appears out of the boudoir of the famous actress. As boudoir is an intimate and private place, we know that the husband of earnest young woman and the famous actress are in love. अब उन त famous actress ले earnest young woman लाई के कुरामा कन्भिन्स गर्छिन् भने उनले देखेको कुरा बुझेको कुरा सबै इल्युजन थिए, यी सबै हस्बेन्ड को ट्रिक थियो, काइन्ड अफ प्रैंक थियो भन्ने कुरामा earnest young woman convinced the huन्छिन्. तर there is a twist at the end when she goes away. अकस्मात उनले earnest young woman को husband लाई बोलाउँछिन् famous actress ले अनि तिनको रूम सँग जोडेको एउटा सानो बौडियर सानो प्राइभेट प्लेस छ. प्राइभेट प्लेस याद गर्नु, बौडियर इन्टिमेट प्लेस, प्राइभेट प्लेस, लभहरु गर्ने एउटा सानो बेडरुम सँग जोडेको सानो रूमबाट बाहिर निस्किने बित्तिकै we readers at the end we are surprised. ओहो यता एकअर्कासँग लभ गर्दा रहेछन् भन्ने कुरामा we know it. This brings us to the end of this very video. I hope you not only enjoyed today's video but equally understood it. Thanks for watching, and obviously don't forget to like and subscribe to my channel.